Your Honor, you've already heard a lot about what happened between Aden Jeffries and his father, and you may think you have the full picture, but you need to know a lot more before you pass judgment on this case, and the only person who can throw any light on that picture is Aden himself. Aden, when your father returned to Summer Bay, running from the police, he approached you for help, did he not?
Yeah, he did.
And what was your reaction?
Well, I thought he was crazy.
No, I mean, what did you do?
Well, I tried to convince him to go to the hospital. He was in pretty bad shape.
And what did your father do?
Well, he refused to go. He tried to run away and he wanted me to go with him.
But you said no.
Yeah, there was no way I was going to go away with him.
Well, what happened then?
I'd had enough by then. When I found out he was the one that stole Belle's money, I went to call the cops.
But he stopped you from doing that, didn't he? How did he actually stop you from making that call? Aden, did he physically stop you? Did he say something to you?
Mr. Jeffries, answer the question, please.
Yeah, he did.
What did your father say to you, Aden? Do you recall what your father said?
Dad said that when he was younger, he was abused by his father, my grandfather.
How did that make you feel? Were you sympathetic towards your father?
No, I couldn't be. Suddenly a lot of things made sense.
Like what?
I'd been abused by my grandfather too. That should have made him want to stop the same thing from happening to me.
And how would you have felt if your father had passed away?
I would have been devastated. I know what I did was wrong and I never meant to hurt Belle or Rachel. And if my father had died, I wouldn't feel any better. It would have made everything 1,000 times worse. I know now that I've got to stop blaming other people. Because I know that if I'm going to get past what happened to me, then it's up to me.
Dr. Armstrong, you are familiar with Aden Jeffries' history, so could you please tell us, in your professional opinion, what his mental state was at the time in question?
He was very disturbed. For a long time he has been traumatized from the abuse inflicted upon him by his grandfather, and at this particular time I believe his ability to reason was drastically impaired.
And how would you compare his mental state now as opposed to back then?
He's come a long way. He's made some tremendous progress. You've seen the report from Dr. Hornby.
Yes, Your Honour, I would like to tender that report to you. Dr. Armstrong, in your opinion, do you think Aden is still a threat to society?
No, I don't. As I said, I think he's made a lot of progress. The Aden of old was a bitter, angry individual. He generally pushed people away when they tried to get too close, which is a typical byproduct of an abused past.
And so you are saying that now all this has changed?
From what I've seen, yes. In fact, it was during the ordeal with his father that the first breakthrough, I think, came. It was the result of the love and support of someone close to him. It really seemed to affect him, and ultimately what stopped him from doing anything stupid to his father that day.
Given what we've all heard over the past 2 days, I don't think anyone could say this is an open and shut case by any means. It's clear the defendant has had a troubled past. Abuse of a child is one of the most heinous acts imaginable. However, we are all the authors of our own destiny, and we must all endeavour to rise above the adversities of life. In relation to the charges of kidnapping, I find the defendant guilty. I now move on to the charge of attempted murder. Given the mental state of the defendant at the time in question, and in light of the affidavit evidence provided by the victim, I find the defendant not guilty. Mr. Jeffries, do not for one moment think that I in any way condone your actions. But, given the mitigating circumstances of the case, I have decided not to impose a custodial sentence. Instead, you will enter into a bond of good behaviour for a period of 12 months, and you will undertake 100 hours of community service. Case dismissed.
You were great up there today, mate.
I just answered Maury's questions.
Nothing to do with me. It was your courage. You did it yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad Dad wasn't there when I had to answer them. It just probably would have been a different story.
Well, I'm very proud of you.
Me too.
Aden, I just want to let you know that you're in the clear for what happened to Angela's car.
That's sort of a big surprise considering I had nothing to do with it. I hope you didn't spend too much time checking it out.
Was that meant to be me or Angelo? The punching bag.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to be anyone. You saw me up there, I'm a reformed citizen.
I'm really proud of you. The guy that I saw on the stand today, he's the one that I've always known you to be. The one you try so hard to hide from everyone else. He's the one that I believe in. And the one that I love.
Belle. I'll stay inside.
Well, your boyfriend just lost his chance to put me in jail, so I better buy him a drink.
Tyre sprung a leak.
Leaking what?
They're full of hydraulic fluid, not like your average tyre.
Yeah?
Way to check's the taste test. If it's only water, we're cool. If it tastes oily, we're stuffed. Give it a go.
Paid on that.
That's good, that's good. Do I pass or what?
Yeah, you'll do. Come on.